suicide bomb where they basically kill their families. That's really waking people up about totally how immoral. The ruling class is beyond not caring and being Machiavelli. They enjoy it. We're going to her here in just a moment. She's under the weather, but she's still willing to come on the show, and we're honored to have her. First off, though, I have pulled the trigger on this. We cannot print more because our shipping department cannot handle it. I was going to print 50,000. Then I decided to print 70,000 of the new InfoWars magazine, the first inaugural edition. And we put 50,000 for free on the streets of Austin, advertising paid for that. The others, we hope, selling at cost, would pay for it. I miscalculated, and we're selling them when we counted our crew and all that. I was losing money on it, so I went up a few dollars on the bulk orders. So it's really at cost. We actually did the numbers. I just kind of guesstimated it and got it wrong. But we sold 30,000 in the last 36 hours or so. 30,000 copies. There are 10,000 copies left as of the start of the show. I got to go check. So if you want to get the inaugural first edition, I'm not printing anymore because I can't ship them all out. Okay, we just aren't set up for that. We're going to have to get a separate shipping department or a company to do it if this continues to take off like this. Because, I mean, they're in there working 15 hours a day right now just trying to get these out. And we will get them out. We'll probably be about a week behind. The point is you can get an e-copy for free. It's digital. The links all work. It's almost just as cool or cooler in a way than the print at Infowars.com/newsletter. So sign up there for free. Sign up there for free. And we will send you that along with the daily news alerts and all the rest of it. We'll resend it out again today and in the news blast. They're going to send out this afternoon, and there'll be a link in there. You'll have to look for it because we're not going to send out a whole other email with it again or it'll irritate people if it's just the same one again. Probably won't irritate them, but whatever. We're going to send out a news alert this afternoon. It'll have a link in there again if you missed it. And you can also pay it forward, send this email on to others so they can see it as well. But 90,000 copies, 80,000 of them out there sold or on the street. Less than 10,000 left right now, InfoWarsShop.com. You can buy them in groups of 100, buy them in groups of 20, 50, 10. And the version you're going to get doesn't have the typo on the front, say bankers plot to de-story U.S. economy. This was an early print, one run we did that had a typo on it. You'll be getting the one that doesn't have the collector's typo. I'm joking. So that's it. And we'll have to gauge it next month and hopefully be ready to supply you. The requests to franchise are flooding in right now. The people are asking for the racks, the handsome InfoWars racks. So we're going to start selling those tomorrow for businesses that are buying them in bulk and are going to sell them and have them in their business. It's on. And so there you go, mainstream media. You could have had popular print. Your print's dying because of your content. Just like your websites are dying. No one likes you. No one believes you. But the dumbest of the dumb. Your time is coming to a close. Go ahead and try to start martial law. I'm not looking forward to it, but it's going to be the end of you. We're going to get you criminals off our stinking backs. Okay. Now, Syrian Girl joins us. We'll talk for this segment, come back and play the video and the audio of Al-Qaeda ransacking a home. They've taken over a neighborhood. They're making fun of wedding pictures, putting down the fact that the women don't have their faces covered in wedding pictures, and swimming in their swimming pool. And then they torture somebody from the village and tell them that he can have the truck if he just drives it down the street, and it's full of bombs. And they're also getting people and saying, we'll kill your families if you don't go bomb. And that's where most of the suicide bombers are. Suicide bombers are usually dead guys in a truck that's being remote controlled. That's cheap technology you can buy for about $800. That's been confirmed. Or it's somebody where they've got their 3-year-old back there, tied up in piano wire, and they're going to, they hack up the 7-year-old and go, your 3-year-old's dead if you don't go bomb. Okay, that's what the CIA is. Because it's not our government. It's foreign banker run. Raping children in Abu Ghraib in front of their parents, Army report. When you sign on, no wonder the troops are committing suicide. The propaganda isn't real, and they're treated like dirt. On top of it, we've got totally wicked globalists running things. I'm going to quit ranting. Joining us, Syrian Girl is herself Sunni. She's not Shiite. It's Sunnis out of different countries like Saudi Arabia in there trying to kill the Shiites. And so she's such a credible witness because her family are exiles from there. They didn't like Assad. But she's saying this is wrong and evil and has been speaking out for 8 months eloquently and exposing from family she still got there everything that's happening. She's been proven right. And so she joins us to give us a report and a breakdown. I know she's seen this video because this is just par for the course of the unbelievable evil where they say we're going to kill your wife and children if you don't do a suicide bombing. And this is the heroes. This is who we're supposed to worship. Syrian Girl, what is it like to see this video and to see the CFR 2 weeks ago come out and say, quote, we need Al-Qaeda, and talk about how great they are? Is it hurtful to see Al-Qaeda killing people?
Of course it's hurtful to see Al-Qaeda killing people. And, you know, it's when I look at what's happening in Syria, I can't believe that this is Syria I'm looking at, because it's totally different to what we're used to. I know that the Middle East is perceived as this violent place, and you know these sort of things are sort of common for us, but it's really not. And we're used to having a nice, peaceful life in Syria. You know, maybe we're not rich, but at the end of the day, we have our families. You know, we have the tomorrow. But what they've taken away is tomorrow for us. And these horrors that are happening is just not just shocking for the world, but it's shocking to a Syrian as well to see it. And the fact that these Al-Qaeda guys, you know, they've taken tactics that we've seen before. So what happened with this video that the BBC took down from their website, that's now available on my YouTube channel, they took this man, they tortured him, got him to admit something about being pro-regime or with the fighting alongside the regime. And you could see all the bruises on him. And then they put him in a truck and they drove him to another truck full of explosives. But what they told him was that if he drove this truck to an army checkpoint, that his dad was waiting for him there and that he would be released. But as a matter of fact, he didn't realize, he didn't even know that the truck had explosives in it. And they were going to detonate it once he reached the checkpoint. But the detonator didn't work. And the New York Times video, the original video, it's all there. And I think it actually got taken down as well from the website. I just heard a tweet. No,
that's right. I was just noticing the New York Times has now pulled it. BBC has pulled it. This is really backfiring on them. Big time right now. The loving Al-Qaeda, making fun of the wedding photos, torturing the guy, all of it. In fact, do you want to air it now and come back from break and comment on it?
Sure.
Let's go ahead and play this. And since it's for radio, the video is going to stream, but we're going to narrate some of this where there's not audio. Here it is.
A bomb being prepared on the back of a truck. The target, a nearby Syrian government checkpoint at the entrance of the city of Aleppo. This video was shot by reporters for the New York Times, who spent 5 days with a group that fights under the banner of the Free Syrian Army. The group call themselves the Lions of Tawhid and say they'll accept nothing less than the end of the regime of President Bashar al-Assad. This 52-man unit is led by a former accountant and is becoming increasingly organised as the bloody battle for the city of Aleppo continues.
We're all going to be martyrs eventually, but not for nothing.
They've taken over the abandoned flat of a police captain loyal to the regime, who's left his personal possessions behind. As well as the family photos, they're also enjoying the luxuries he once had.
Little class envy.
At their base, the group have a prisoner. They say he's a member of the Shabiha militia.
Let's hit pause.
Loyal to the government.
By the way, I mean, this guy, obviously, they knew what they were doing. They picked the biggest. This guy looks like he's mentally retarded. I mean, that's who they do for these suicide bombs. This guy looks like he might have an 80 IQ. I mean, you could tell when somebody, the way they talk and look. He's dumber than a box of rocks. I mean, obviously, you'd know they're putting you on a truck with a bunch of stuff on the back. It's going to explode. But by the grace of God, God protects the little children. That includes mentally retarded people. But let's continue with the video and then get Syrian Girl's take on it. Here it is.
Which is loyal to the government and that he's confessed to carrying out killings. He bears the bruises of a beating, it's said, from those who'd held him before tonight. The rebels appear to be treating him well, offering him cigarettes and a shower, and he's told that he'll be released as part of a prisoner exchange. Blindfolded, he's driven towards the city. He's told all he'll have to do is drive the truck towards a government checkpoint. What he doesn't know is the truck is the one that's been rigged with a 300-kilo bomb. The rebel fighters intend to detonate it remotely when he approaches the checkpoint. He's being tricked into being an unwitting suicide bomber. But the fighters return disappointed. When they pressed the detonator, the bomb failed to explode. The New York Times journalists who filmed all of this say that at the time they were not aware of the rebels' intentions.
Oh, yeah, right.
Using prisoners as suicide bombers would certainly be considered a war crime. And whilst those opposing President Assad have said they respect the rights of prisoners, this video shows what some rebel fighters are willing to do. Gordon Carrera, BBC News.
Now, the BBC's pulled it, New York Times is pulling it, and early on, the New York Times was quite proud of this. This was some wonderful jihading that they were showing us, but now they get, like when they say they're torturing people, including their kids, like, we're supposed to like that. We're like, we don't like that. They go, oh, we'll arrest those we ordered to do it then. But it just shows the absolute depths of immorality and wickedness seizing control. But we see the footage where they're throwing families off buildings, murdering people, burning up, blowing up churches, which really makes Obama's people happy. What do you make of this new footage? Why do you think they were so proud of it at first? They thought we'd love it.
I think that they showed the fact that they're organized and the fact that they're actually taking over houses and they're controlling these areas. Maybe they thought that they could get away with it being a show of force, as if, the insurgency is winning. That could be how they intended the message to come across. But on the other hand, it could have just been a mistake. And once the editors saw the backlash, they quickly took it down. Perhaps they didn't realize that people are not that brainwashed. They realize when a war crime is being committed. So I just wanted to say as well that this is not new. It's not a new tactic in Iraq. Many times, cars had been found with booby-trapped bombs in the trunk of the car, and it didn't go off because it was found previously. And that's how these things were done.
That's been confirmed. They were doing that in Iran, where they put the bomb in somebody else's car that they knew was going into a ministry, and then they say that person's a suicide bomber when it blows up.
Exactly. And there was another video actually released from Syria where they have this guy, they have him make a video talking about suicide. But in fact, because he's been kidnapped, he explodes himself and takes them with him. So again, this video is also on my YouTube channel because he's obviously going to be killed anyway.
That's the way to do it. Yeah, you strap me with suicide bombs, I'm going to blow you up. I'm not going to go blow up some police. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. On the other side, we're going to talk about what Syrian Girl predicted 3 weeks ago. They're now saying Assad's going to use chemical weapons, so here comes the Peace Prize president with bombs. By the way, Infowars.com and Prisonplanet.com are funded by our sponsors, and you clicking on them. And the